once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and it is Talcott Tuesday in my head. Today, I am filled with ideas and inspirations again today. And the Jack who's starting the live stream, the one who's before you now, I'm at a new level of peace once again. I've kind of restored some of my inner balance, and I feel a lot less discombobulated, a lot less detached from myself the way I had been the last couple of days. But part of it is the topic. Where I'm hoping to do tonight is we'll start with some brief thoughts. I'll drop the link. And today I just less of an agenda and more of a desire within me for some fellowship, right? Some friendly conversations and discussions, but really with the topic, God's love. For God's love, man, it is what's carrying me through. It is what has been carrying me through. It's what helps me sleep at night. It's what helps me get excited for the day. My thoughts on God's love. They've worked wonders for me, so I want to try and share some with you if I can. In the background, right? The message: rejoice, give thanks to the Lord. The idea of love and peace, they're found within gratitude for the absence of conflicts. Okay? Consider those thoughts. If you have gratitude for the absence of conflicts, then you're going to feel appreciative, and appreciation and gratitude, those are signs of love. And peace is simply the absence of conflicts. So you unite those two together, realizing that even behind the immediate conflicts that may arise, the immediate disagreements, the immediate problems that we may face, if you can notice behind that, look behind the darkness and the negativity, then you can grow that which you can appreciate. You can grow the goodness for yourself. Because in the background, behind all the fights, behind all the problems, behind all the pain and suffering, there is the absence of that. And it might just be like a fraction of a moment, or just a tiny little space. But even in the deepest storm, the strongest storm, you can find ways and places to shelter yourself from the storm with the peace. And in the peace and the safety, the security, then you can find gratitude. And so even in the dark night, right, the dark night of the soul, the dark storm that's upon you, even in the midst of that, if God allows you, and if you choose to, you can be the master of your emotions, your thoughts. Because it's only regardless of the circumstances, whether there's a war, whether there's a storm, whether there's chaos, whether there's nothing, our ability to think, it's going to be affected by the thoughts we think and by the emotions we allow. But just because thoughts arise and emotions come up doesn't mean we have to give our power away. Doesn't mean we have to lose our ability to reason. Hey, I do hope to do a little better. Trying to engage the chat. New levels of peace, same levels of pleasure. I do hope to grow the pleasure though too, man, because how I find my peace, I'm telling you, I do hours of massage. Anytime I can find a reason or the opportunity, I rub my muscles, my legs, my back, my arms, my shoulders, and that brings up so much pleasure. And Freedom Grower, it is time to put this donkey on the fast track. We got to get uh, this train moving. Who is Jack Talcott? Yes. Here, I'm going to go ahead because I do hope to engage more with those who are here and those who are tuning in, sharing their time. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link already. I've got some slides regarding forgiveness versus carrying a grudge, right? Ooh, here's someone. Amen, Freedom Grower. We cannot continue to let the loopers stop us from finding solutions. So let's be optimistic and let's hope that solutions are arriving.
You
Welcome.
find support and freedom, faggot grower.
Please watch it. Let's
I
not
don't watch this show. Watch you.
watch
What
your
are you
attitude.
putting on the fast track?
Watch your attitude, please. Can we
What are
try
you
some?
putting on the fast track?
How about purpose, intentions?
Right. What's your purpose?
To create a better life for myself and to create a better world for others.
You. Well, you've had many chances to make a better life for yourself, and you always fuck it up. And then you tell yourself, oh, that's just my boneheaded son's fault. It's my whore wife's fault. Which wife is the whore wife? The
Here,
third one? The
please,
baby mama one that you didn't marry?
no, please pause. So
No,
this,
you said fast track. There ain't no.
Tom, you can learn how to communicate with me, or you can find somewhere else to go. Okay. Um, I saw something in Art of the Fade. Landry didn't make jack shit. He didn't make anything for me. Not that I saw. Nothing of true. Well, he did do some improvements on my website, so I won't say nothing. Um, and I'm grateful for what he shared, but I'm sure not grateful for his attitude since our separating of ways. So whatever Landry might or might not do, frankly, I wouldn't believe it until I see it. I've experienced lack of follow through. So, and frankly, him and I are not communicating anymore. And I don't really have any desire. So with
Well,
you,
I think you're the one that has to improve communication. You want a little value, Jack? Want a little value?
how about we both work for it? Can we both
No,
try?
that's you and your daddy both like to say it's both of us that's the problem, right?
You
That
can
takes a little weight
either,
off of it. Would
you
you like
either,
some value?
what is available from you?
Art of the Fate is just another moose sock, you fucking moron.
Okay.
Now, why is Chris Prime Zebra wrenched up on your channel? And why do you try and act like I support Snafu against you when you go cupcake with Snafu?
Tom, why should I
The dude,
answer these questions?
because okay, are you that oblivious?
Well, I want to understand.
You accuse me of supporting Snafu's lies, which I never did. But
Yeah, you
when
have.
you didn't have a show, no, I didn't.
Okay,
I
fine.
supported.
Continue.
No. Let me correct you because you're a liar. I supported a
You know what?
venue that.
Go tell someone else, Tom. You can't find any respect to share, leave. Um, it's fascinating. He wants to deny any responsibility for how we communicate and then doesn't see what he's doing. Tommy, I'm not bringing you back. I don't see any reason to do so. And it's not up to me to find the reasons. You think I'm a coward liar, Tom? You think that's going to help? You're banned. Simple as that. As I said, I'm interested in fellowship and conversations, but I am not interested in sitting here being insulted and belittled by people who don't understand God's love. Damn. And that's the truth. That's the reason I guess I should talk to Tom, isn't it? Because he doesn't understand God's love. Um, I'm not sure what to do because he does. He wakes up day after day with this battle against Jack, and it's not healthy. It's not wise. It's not productive. It's it's not even entertaining for me anymore. Um, so, and the folks that who have tried to paint the narrative that Jack wants people like the others to join and insult me. No, that's not accurate. Okay. But something God has shown me in my life, I love God deeply, but God does not always get me what I want. And I can accept that. My life is to want what I have and want to share what I have, and I want to grow what I have. Because in my mind, play with these words for yourself, please. In my mind, God has already given me everything. And God has given you everything. Everything you ever needed in your life, same for me. Anything I've ever needed to continue my life, it has been it has been offered to me. Hey, here's a much more respectful. Welcome, Dick. How are you today, brother?
Yo,
Welcome.
Jack, how you doing, bud? Cheers.
I'm
How's your
feeling good.
afternoon going?
It's yes, it's another afternoon trying to break away
Getting
from the loop.
rocking. Yeah, I don't know what all that negativity is going to serve other than, just to denigrate you and make you feel like shit. I do heckle you from the sidelines at times and I like to have fun, but I'm not looking to tear you down, Jack. And I think there's a difference in that energy. I don't know why Tommy feels like he needs to just, tear you to shreds or whatever. I think it's a projection. People that do that often they're just hurt inside and haven't dealt with their own traumas.
Yes, Dick. However, I still have to ask myself the question, why do I attract so many of those people? So many people that are carrying around unresolved hurt and they want to project all this crap onto me.
Yeah. I think you attract it because you've dealt with a lot of that as well. And so it's, something that maybe you have that signature on you or whatever. You've dealt with a lot of pain and trauma through your journey. So,
Holy cows.
disturbed people attract disturbed people. Maybe
We
we're
do.
all disturbed. That's what we're finding. We've all got, issues to deal with at a
Dick,
certain level.
I came to that conclusion a while ago. That's
Yeah.
what this Battleverse is. We're all these I see in the collective group of men and women that I'm most familiar with. It seems the majority we've been kind of outcasts or we've been set aside a little bit from some of the traditional society, but more so, I've seen a lot of people who I believe have been doing inner work, right, working on themselves. You have,
Yeah.
I have, lots of others. And so it makes sense to me in the bigger picture. It would make sense that this is just another path where we're going to meet reflections of us. And what you said, yeah, karma. That was the thought that came to mind. My karma is being shown, right? Because I am attracting
Right.
these people that are just like me. They got anger temp, they got anger issues and tempers and insecurity.
Mm-hmm. All of it. Yeah, but you know, at the same time, I don't really get it because, and this isn't to be disrespectful towards you, but you haven't had like, it's not like you're getting some huge momentum and some huge movement where people would want to come in and stop you from all the influence. Like you're a small drop in a huge pond at this point, and you're just trying to build something, you know. So it's like, and even if I don't always agree with your premise and how you plan to go about doing it, you know, the end result of what you want, I don't think anybody could be against having less wars or no wars or any unnecessary violence. Why do we need that? We're sending our kids off to go fight for a fiat system. I mean, even just what the wars represent are so atrocious that at a certain level, you could see how they don't actually need to happen. You know, there are wars that have actually been for a good reason, and then there's all these nonsense wars that I think are just put on us to destroy us.
It is.
Yeah.
I never realized. I mean, this is my testimony, my story. I mean, I spent the majority of my life doing the American dream. You know, I had a job, I planned on a career, I was going to work there till I retired, and, you know, thinking about legacy within a small little area. But I changed, and when I started learning about war, the true costs of war, when I started learning about the truth of American history, there's been a war against labor since slavery, right? The working class has been oppressed throughout time, and it's still happening today.
Yeah, I think my signal's slow. I'm going to shut my camera off because it's not. You keep buffering out. I don't know if it's the upload or download.
It could be, yes. My signal's not the strongest here too, so it could be some of that. But the you said something else I wanted to swing back to. I forgot what you said.
Well, I was talking about how you can, you know, you can. Oh, go ahead.
Me being like the lack of momentum. I mean, truly, yeah, if I was rising up and people didn't want to see me rising, I understand getting some opposition. But dude, I'm like this. I got one of the lower subscriber counts. My growth has not been happening as much as I'm talked about on all of these other panels. I mean, hell, when I'm not doing my own, it's pretty often I can turn YouTube on and see someone talking about Jack. So where's the numbers? Where's the support, right? It's like, where's the results? So I haven't achieved the results yet, but I've certainly found the challengers and the opposition.
Well, and I don't know anybody else that's getting results in the arena that you're trying to get results in.
Right.
I mean, Democrats and Republicans sure aren't. And I don't, you know, what you're trying to do is just a huge undertaking. However, it's like, it's not that someone can say, hey, you're doing it all wrong, Jack, because this guy here has the answer and he's really getting results at a macro level. Now, at a micro level, I think people could make that argument, but big picture, like, I don't know how to get this system, to be honest. I couldn't, you know, other than just try to speak truth into it. It's the only thing I can surmise, you know?
Well, that's the conclusion I came to, is it's going to be the truth that sets us free. Because when in the micro and on the macro, when people stop arguing over facts, we can usually find agreement. But because of the individual perspectives and the subjective truth that many people rely upon, mankind has been conditioned into this state of war. We're at constant war collectively against nature, against logic, against freedom. And it's, to me, Dick, what you said regarding others too, this crazy idea of trying to end wars and end legal secrets. I know there's been other people and there's been other organizations that have looked at ending the Federal Reserve, you know, bringing reform to the nation, all sorts of things. But we're living at a time unlike others. And so what I was blessed with is learning. I learned from listening to the psychologists and the psychiatrists of today. Some of the bigger known they freely share their stuff online. The evidence is clear. Secrets and lies have created a world of deception. And until we're willing to accept the truth, we're going to keep having liars in power. And so the crazy idea I have, Dick, is I trust it's not going to be one man, but everything that happens great in the world, it starts with one, starts with a few, and then that few turns into many, and then the great accomplishments happen. And so if there was a way to present the facts to the men and women who are employed in Congress and in the administration of the federal government here in America, if we could present the facts that demonstrate fully the opportunity to end wars is now. There's no excuse for wars to continue if we want wars to end. I mean, and this goes on the family level, to the community level, to the national level. If we want peace, it's there for us. We got to do what it takes. And all I'm suggesting is it's time to do what it takes. If it's not Jack, let's find someone else who's got a better chance of getting it done. And let's see if we can end wars and bring reform. I mean, we've got a radical president right now who's not afraid to shake things up, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he claims he wants to end wars. He claims he wants to expose the deep state. I don't think he's got the right plan. Says the guy that everyone says, I don't have a plan.
You know, I find the hypocrisy of the system so difficult. And it's to really want or expect people to be honorable to it is difficult also because it's so corrupt. Like, how do you expect the people to want to own or have any kind of sense of loyal or allegiance to a system that's so corrupt? I mean, I understand you're born into it, and by proxy, you might be encountering accountability to things that you wouldn't have otherwise, or that it's just this is the part of reality that you take on the burdens of your ancestors. But to have such atrocious gluttony and just like endless trillions upon trillions, we're just going to enslave you for generations upon generations. Not a fucking thing you can do about it. Doesn't matter which way you vote, what, and you're just guilty by your own birth. You know, basically, is what it comes down to. And you can't even get honest money out of the deal, Jack. You can't. I mean, it's like just the most basic of fucking things. And then you wonder why everything else that represents that system is corrupt. And people can't trust police. They can't trust politicians. They can't trust any arm of the government. It fucking sucks, you know? It really does.
Yes. There's a fine line, you know, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the corrupted people or the corrupted systems? You know, it's a little bit of both. We've got these systems that literally they protect the corrupted, right? We've got these systems of power and authority. Well, power corrupts, especially if it's left unchecked. And the people and the positions of power, those will be sought by those who are corruptible. Because the good men and women, they don't want the responsibility. They don't want to have to deal with the headaches of everyone else. But the selfish, they don't care about the headaches of everyone else. They're in it to get what they can get. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. What we have right now, we have all the signs in this nation that it is time for the American public to start taking this seriously. There are a lot of people taking it seriously too. I mean, there's millions of people going to the streets, different nations, protesting, trying to create some change. Well, it seems to me the people in position, they're not quite listening. So how do we get their attention? It's my view. Well, it is time for a revolution, but not in the old ways. We've learned from the past. We can create reform and evolution through nonviolent actions. Personally, I think the safest and easiest way, the most direct way, is to use connections and have conversations with these people. But worst case, if when I start getting some of the connections that I've been seeking to make, we have everything we need. If there was an appropriate message shared, the call to action, it could be so easily accomplished. People could feel better about being a part of the reforms because they're seeing things happen. But that's the way of change anyway on the individual life. If we want to see a better life for ourselves, we have to see ourselves changing. We've got to take the step. We got to show the universe that we want change. That's what I had to do for my physical health, for my emotional health, and my spiritual health. I had to take actions and show that I was serious. So part of my problem, though, as a man, part of my development, my online experience, we were talking about the growth. I've had a pattern through my life of being very serious, right? Not allowing myself a lot of fun. But my spiritual path, to tie it back to the topic with God's love, my spiritual path has led me to the conclusion that we are here to have fun, because love is fun and love is who we truly are. And if we are acting authentically and who we truly are, well, then we're pretty fun people. I kind of went on a whole bunch of stuff there, Dick. You have anything come up?
Well, we need honesty, transparency, and efficiency if anything is going to represent the people, because people are expected to live that way. You know, if you're not born to some kind of trust or, exorbitant means, you're going to have honesty in your own life with your own type of resources and what you can actually do with what you got. You can't fool yourself. You can't deceive yourself. If you do, it's just going to be to your own folly. So you got to be transparent to yourself. You know, what type of system do we want to have that's not efficient when we're expected to be efficient people and balance our bank accounts and live within our means and be intelligent with our finances? But you don't have to have a government. So back to the chicken or the egg. Is that just reflective of the people, or is the people reflective of the government? Do the government perhaps compel us to become that way? Because it doesn't seem like people live that way necessarily as much 100 years ago. This is more like a recent anomaly that people just live on the debt-based fiat system. You couldn't do that if it didn't exist, right? You got to have, inflating dollar to even have that possible. So I just think it's common sense, and it's not as difficult as people make it. And that's why it's so frustrating, because actually the system we have is so complex. What we need is much simpler, focused, again, transparent, honest, just doing what's necessary for basic accommodations.
Yes. Dick, it's that simple. But until people stop and objectively look at things, they won't see it. They won't see what to do.
I mean, Jack, I saw in Europe they got these urinals now where you pee outside. Like, you go up to them and it's, you're protected, so you're not exposing yourself. But you could be sitting right next to someone, 4 feet away eating their donut or whatever they just got, and you're pissing. You just go right up to it, and it, covers your lower body. You just pee right into it. And I thought, what a great thing, actually, because they can just clean that out real quick, spray it. It's real hygienic. Guys don't have to sit there and wait a big line for a bathroom or whatever. So, I mean, just simple things make it easier to keep the community clean and functioning well.
There are so many ways we can improve. So many ways we can improve society just by simply doing what is right. And simplifying things too is something else you said. The money system. The solutions for the money system, to me, it seems so simple and obvious. The money system needs to be taken back over and put into the power of the people. Right now, we've got all the power institutions.
It's not difficult.
No, it really isn't. It's
they duped everyone, not just the American people, but the whole world when Nixon did that emergency order. And then, of course, what the emergency never ended, I guess. Apparently, we're still under the same emergency.
Right. And it's the same tactics the American government does with us, right? Makes a decision that affects others, and what's the rest of the world to do, right? I mean, here, I saw this question. No, Jack is not.
Yeah, there you
go. But there's a lot of wisdom to be found in many different places.
Did you ever go into a Freemason lodge or, entertain it at any level?
I met a Mason when I was a young kid, in the Army. And he was telling me about what they were, and I actually I was interested. I wanted to be a part of it. And he judged me and my character, and he says, "No, you're not." I was a punk kid, completely.
I guess Landry admitted to being a Mason, so now everybody's questioning everybody. Are you a Mason? Are you a Mason? So we're all having to show our cards here.
I've looked into, I was curious, what are they teaching? What are they doing? And I haven't gone in depth, but I've learned enough. There's wisdom in a lot of these teachings, but it's up to the individual. Are we going to use the wisdom for goodness or for darkness? Hey, Chewy, blessings to you, my friend. Thank you for the contributions. God is doing this. We are just the current times. And I feel like there's something special happening through humanity at this time. And if it's happening through humanity, well, it's happening with me. It's happening with you. And once I started getting over my insecurities, facing my doubts, facing my fears, I actually started practicing this walking with love. The more I do that, the more I trust this life, everything in this world, the entire world, the heavens, the stars, everything has been given to us, to mankind, to care for, to be the caretakers of, not to have dominion and rule over. I mean,
yeah, you're right, man. We can't even own it if we wanted to. It's just a small little vapor. You think you own the land. They complain about the taxes. Well, I agree. We shouldn't be taxed for land, but you still don't own it, even if they didn't tax you, because you're going to have to give it back to the next generation. And how did you take care of it while you had it? It's all about that stewardship. And that should be fucking obvious. Right. And none of us are actually doing a great example of that, at least in the American lifestyle. Yeah. It's like you can't, even if you want to, unless you literally just become some complete different anomaly where you don't buy any packaged goods. Nothing's going into a landfill. You're just not participating in that consumption system, which it would be very difficult, right? I don't know many people pulling that off.
No, it's
It shouldn't be that way, though, right? You should be able to buy stuff, and there should be a thought process to how does that end of life cycle, with that happen, and so it doesn't turn into a fucking, what do they say, like a pile of trash in the sea bigger than America?
Yeah,
Jesus fucking criminy.
That's where we're heading. And if you take
that's what we got. Who knows where it goes from there? That's already there. There's a huge fucking pile of trash that's been building in the ocean. It's just ginormous.
It's so sad. But if we take in I think allegory is the right word. If you take in the ideas and the concepts from the Bible, it actually fits, right? The world we live in, it has been distorted and manipulated for the selfish and for the evil to have power. I'm pretty sure that's Stephen in the back. And if so, I'm not. No, looks like they left. I'm assuming it was. Good. Sorry, I took myself off. Oh, the ways of the world, man's laws, they are in defiance of God's laws, because God's law is to serve, not obey, right? We're here to be the gifts into the world. The world has been given to us, and we are the exchange. We can give ourselves to the world. I didn't think about these ideas very much. I mean, conceptually to a small degree. Chewy, blessings to you. Thank you again, my friend. Blessings.
Yeah, Stephen talks about that hell realm, and people like to argue about, is it a hell realm? Is it not a hell realm? But one thing I think you could say is the trajectory that humanity is on, it seems like it's always getting more and more foolish, more absurd, ridiculous, just, our own demise. So you can't ignore or deny the fact that things are not moving in a way that would be, because, if you look at like the way our grandparents lived, they seem to have a high level of peace and overall kind of just well-being comparatively to what you see. There wasn't the homeless situation like there is now. There was more people owned a house, had a family, kept marriages together. I know it wasn't perfect. I'm not saying there wasn't abuse and a lot of terrible things that happened behind closed doors and shit that wasn't seen because the technology is not the way it is. There's, it's not a perfect picture or some kind of panacea nirvana, but I don't think it's easy to make an argument that humanity is not getting worse right now as a whole.
Not getting worse?
Yeah, it is getting worse is what I'm saying, to simplify it.
Yeah. Yes.
It would be hard to make an argument otherwise.
I actually think it's an example where both things are true. We're doing some horribly destructive and just absolute foolish things. Humanity is to our planet and to each other. But the other side of that is we are still developing in our technology, our ability to communicate. Michael Smith showing up with my son's picture again. Stephen. Sorry, my mind just whoops. Hey, Chewy, blessings. I truly appreciate it. There are a number that seem to enjoy tearing me down. They at least enjoy the try, the effort. But I guess here, Dick, swinging it back to what you were saying too about the patterns of getting worse. In the concept and the idea of spiritual development, it makes sense, right? As a child, you're going to let your child make mistakes. They're going to do foolish things, but you know that when they're safe, it's fine. And I think in the creator's eyes, we are safe. We are here to make all the mistakes we want. We can stray away from the truth. We can live with complete lies. We can push away love. We can deny everything good from ourselves. And I think God's love allows it. But it makes sense. It's through life experiences, through the pain of life experiences. That's where the true wisdom is gained. That's where we each individually determine our own strength. You know, when we're placed in these periods of isolation, separated from others and the people and the things that we want, that's when we learn what we're made of. And I see some people testing themselves. I think Tommy's in a way doing that. He's testing himself. He's going without. He's kind of living it a little bit rougher, giving up some of the securities and comforts. But there's no denying he's discovering who he is and what he's made of.
Well, I think people have this idealistic idea that if they have certain family around them or whatever, that's going to make their passing or their death easier. And I wonder, you know, like if you've seen death at that level, lost loved ones or had, you know, family members pass, or even seen, you know, the difficulty of that, where maybe it wasn't an easy process, you realize like it's not that much comfort. You know, you're going to die alone at a certain level. You're going to have to face the witness you were of your own actions and the life you lived and how you spent your energy and all that kind of stuff. So it's not something you're going to be able to forego any accountability by having certain people there. So, I mean, it doesn't put, all I'm saying is it doesn't put anyone in a better passing position getting out of here than if they had, you know, certain people with them or not. And sometimes you got to walk alone. That's just life.
Yeah. Well, that's one. Walking alone is what allowed me to discover my weaknesses, my insecurities, my fears. And I tell you what, I wouldn't change a thing. I am so grateful for everything that's happened with me. The idea of living a life where I'm happy to leave. I mean, that's not the right way of saying it, but
You're
I
okay
do.
with it.
Yes, thank you. I've come to terms with me and who I am, and I found a ton of gratitude for this life I've lived. And the more I have been placing myself on this spiritual path, wanting to know God, wanting to know me, wanting to know the world, I look forward to meeting the Maker. I'll be excited. But I'm excited for each day because the way I see it is it'll I imagine it'll be kind of like when we go to sleep. We go to sleep, we disappear into nothingness, and then we experience something else, either in a dream or we awaken and we start experiencing again. I assume that's what's going to happen when the breath is gone. I'll either fade away into nothingness or then I'll finally know. And the idea of, well, all of these principles, it's on the truth applies at many different levels, at the micro and the macro. What worked for me was just what I said, humbling myself to the truth, accepting the reality of me, the reality of today, the reality of what I know. And during that acceptance, finding a way to get comfortable. Because sometimes the world tells us stuff and shows us things that is not comfortable. but through our power of our minds and through the grace Am I back?
Oh, I was gonna say, is it just me or did you freeze?
It was for a bit. I think I'm back.
Yeah, it's you might want to shut your camera off for a minute because it's pretty. Or to me, it's frozen, but I don't know if it's
Yeah,
just a bad signal.
let me try switching this. See if I can get a little better.
You know, I look okay. So in this life, right? I can't say I have some recollection of coming into this reality, but I will say there's a lot of things here that seem very familiar to me, especially certain faces, people I'll meet or whatever. Just like kindred spirits, or just someone where it's like maybe you knew them in a previous life, or there's just something so familiar about their personality or whatever. And I think uh, it's nuanced. You know, it's not as easy as we just fade into nothing, and it's not as maybe detailed as having a full recollection of uh, everything. Right? You know, it's you're not gonna. I think it's easy to want to try to define it with something that will pass. The brain will definitely pass. So when we use that to try to size it up and frame it up, how can the thing that won't be able to go there be the thing that actually can understand it or define it? The brain's never been there. So it can only be the part of you that can look at your perspective of that, which is the spirit. So, like, what does spirit look like to you? You know, is it a place of peace? Do you have a place of refuge? When you go past the brain, the thoughts, and all that shit, is there some calm there?
That's where in my mind, that's where I figured God would be. God is the mind beyond the breath.
Yeah, me too. Because that's the only perspective we have of the spirit, right? Is to move
Yeah.
past the intellect and that nonsense and get into that meditative space, commune with the Most High.
That I didn't know that could be done, communing with the Most High. And even if it could be done, I didn't know how to do it. And now I don't know that I do, but I know that I am comfortable
Yeah, you
acting.
do. I've heard you say it, to walk in presence, right?
Yes,
Yeah, you know how to do that.
that's it.
I've seen you
Hey,
do that plenty. You got to have that talent because you've had so much like shit thrown your way and you don't let it phase you. You just keep staying on, point with what you want to do.
thank you,
That
Jack.
takes some resolve, man.
Thank you. And that
That
actually
means
is.
you got to be centered at a certain level to do that, or just completely insane. I may be giving you credit, for your
A little of
insanity,
both,
but
maybe a little of both.
there you
I
go.
won't deny that. Hey, this question, did anyone hear how Jack is under investigation now with Homeland Security? Uh, I had not heard that, but in this live stream talking about maybe it's time for a revolution. So I understand. We've got another guest. He's been back there a little bit. Cage, welcome.
Welcome back to the freeze, Ben. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You're freezing, buddy.
Yeah, the signal. It's
It's definitely
it's
not being
just
done on
something.
purpose, right? That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's technology. I mean, the stuff, it really is magic. I understand
Abracadabra.
you know,
Hey, am I coming in all right, Cage, or is it
Every-
just Jack,
It's
or is
just
it me?
Jack, we fucked his connection. You know what I mean? My bad, bro.
Jack, try to
here.
go out and come back in. See if you
Let me
can.
snap my fingers like that.
Yeah,
Boom.
go out and
You're
come
good
back
now.
in. Maybe
Good
it'll be
now.
better.
Good now. Yeah. Oh,
How you doing,
so
Cage?
how you doing, Freedom Girl? You good, buddy? Everything? How's the plans going? Everything good?
Oh man, just fucking terrible, Cage. I got all kinds
What?
of problems I wanted to dump on you. Can I just do a trauma dump on you at the moment?
Yeah, we got
Capitalize Jack's stream.
IPM. We got IPM available, brothers and sisters.
I want to go deep into negativity here and just let you know all my problems.
I got you, bud. No, I can show
We need to
it.
redesign the straw, and donuts don't make any sense because they take up. They're not efficient with space.
Well, they're Tiny Toms or Tiny Tims or Tiny Talcott.
We got to
or
plug
whatever.
the donuts with tasty morsels, chocolate and blueberries and shit.
Fuck, we can figure that out later.
We call them Jack nuts.
Jack, how
Jack
you doing, brother?
nuts. There you go.
Yeah, once you live without
What's
fear, what can they really do to
Let's
you?
hear Jack and see
They're
if
gonna
he's
do, kill
coming
you?
in good now.
Jack, you good? Mic check.
yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this is working better. Does it sound okay?
Oh yeah, it sounds a lot better.
Yeah, you're good now.
All right. Thank you for the suggestion. I don't know what you guys were talking about with donuts and straws, though. What did I miss there?
It's code, bro. It's code.
Okay.
Well,
All
I
right.
laugh because they've redesigned the straw so many ways. Like I've seen fucking straws made out of bamboo. I've seen paper straws. I've seen straws made out of like repurposed materials, cane sugar, edible straw. I'm just like, how many people wake up and are like, that's my fucking life passion. I got to redesign the straw today. I'm gonna fucking do a better straw. We don't have that's their frustration
I
every
thought
time
the
they go to have a
plastic straw.
beverage. They don't have a
I thought the
sufficient straw.
Hey, Freedom Girl. I thought the plastic straw was bad, but apparently the ones that are now made out of paper or whatever, or cardboard, whatever the fuck, the glue that holds it together is a forever chemical that you can't get rid.
Yeah, PFAS. You're gonna get PFAS, and they're gonna sit in your brain. We've all got like a teaspoon of it already sitting in our brain, making us estrogenic, and our chemicals
I just
all
shit out
thrown
a
off.
credit card, buddy. I just shit out a credit card. You know what I mean? What's happening?
Yeah, it's wild. Actually, it really is.
It is. Can we live without plastic, microplastics? Live without micro? Sorry, Jack, for interrupting.
Well, this plastics, I mean, it's in line with what we were talking about earlier, the trash piles in the oceans, the landfills. We're shipping the Western world ships its trash to these other poor nations, and they sift through the trash, trying to collect any salvageable or any value from the trash. But the entire plastics issue, I mean, we are blessed. Think how convenient it is plastic, to not have wooden crates and to have some of these advancements. We've certainly got the convenience, but because of the continuing chase for profits, we're missing the boat. I mean,
holy fucking cows, buddy.
There's actually, I hear a lot of rumors of new discoveries. They're finding these two
Talcott, you're freezing up. You're glitching, man. You're glitching and you're freezing up, man. Freeze, motherfucker. Yeah. Holy freezing cows.
And that's why I was going into donut holes, Jack, because I was doing space filler. I was filling the hole in the donut. You're the donut, and I was. You're the donut. We got to stop being so efficient with space.
Yeah.
Now this is where AI would come in handy because it could like fill in for Jack when he's not available and just be just like talking to Jack. We wouldn't even know the difference. Seamless transition.
Right.
I think you're gonna get replaced by your AI model, Jack. I don't know what's going on. People are marrying them, being replaced by them. I don't think. What the fuck do you even need a human being for at this point? I don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
No, those people are
Uh,
not.
yeah, I'd beg to differ.
I'm just
Yeah.
joking. Obviously, there's nothing like the human mind. No one could replicate that. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I think the idea of AI, people are falling in love with intelligence.
I think there's a word
It-
for that.
Actually, I think there is. People get turned on
There's a word for
by
that. I've met a few people that claim to do that.
well,
But
if you
like? Oh, go ahead. My
no,
bad.
please go ahead there.
Oh, I was derailing. So, because I was going to go into Talcott figurines and bobbleheads, Jack, and someone was in towel cakes and like, why? What? Because, like I was saying at the beginning of the broadcast, let's get this thing on track, man. Let's get this train moving.
It's called
Because,
sapiosexuality. You know,
you
just
know,
like
you
fun
could brand
terms.
the Jack Talcott thing, and that could bring some funds in for you. But and AI could help you. You know, it's not. Uh, I think terrible to use tools like that for a purpose of benefiting your career and ideas and business.
Holy fuck!
Absolutely.
I need life coaching or something. I heard something about
You do.
sapiosexuality. People would tell. Is that what?
This is a
I'm not sure.
bold admission from Cage here, coming clean with his confessional. You need help, bud, and that's something we've been
The,
trying to
pri-
tell you for
the
quite a
priest touched
while.
you in the confessional.
I'm proud of you, though, man.
Yep.
That's a big step. That's huge.
Sapiosexuality. I'm saying it's like people that are attracted to intelligence, right? That's the whole word. There's a word behind it. So
No,
no, what
referring
do
to
you
the
mean?
fact that you could use some help, Cage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
I
what
need some life coaching.
you
Fuck.
you could. We can all use some positive encouragement, some positive reinforcement. I mean, to me, that's what a good coach will do. Um, and that's really what we all are. Tying it back to the idea of intelligence, though, when I said that, I think people are falling because, well, I've seen people who claim to fall in love with the AI. Um, and I know there's people who have found they've gone to AI to talk about their personal issues, and they've actually found emotional breakthroughs through some of the answers that are fed back. What this points to for me, though, is swinging back to the unseen power of truth. Truth is God, and the ultimate mind is God. But we've as a species and a society, we've kind of lost track of whose mind is what and what should be in the mind. But these are lessons that I was allowed to learn and to study. And what it comes down to is just what Dick said earlier, um, the practice of being present. You don't have to know it all, but you need to know what's going on. And you can't know what's going on with you if you're not paying attention to you. We live in this world of materialism where people have been conditioned to find their value outside of themselves in the job, the relationship, the title, whatever. Um, but that's
But
missing
that's not who they are, right? That could easily be taken away.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And Cage, I was one of those. I didn't realize how much my internal value system was outside of me. I didn't know where my value was. I didn't know what value I had because, well, I was raised wrong.
I hear you. Well, whatever. You know, well, you've learned now, and it's know thyself, right? We could say it in Latin. You can say it in Latin too, if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, know thyself. You know who you are. You better.
I know who I've been, and I know who I am becoming. Antonio, I don't know if who's this we needs to know. I don't know. Am I in trouble with Homeland Security or not?
You know, Jack's only in trouble with the DOJ.
Oh, this might be referring to
What the fuck?
no, this
Okay.
this might be referring to something from a long time ago.
Are you
Because
talking about Talcott clip collection?
no,
Yeah, that money scandal thing from a long time ago.
yeah, yeah, that could be.
I
What
think
it is.
Jack's all right. Jack is
Laundering money to foreign governments and shit. So
Allegedly,
that's
yeah.
not a pretty choppy, dicey past, and
I bought 15
it's a
kilos
motley
of
crew here,
cocaine
you
off
know.
Jack Talcott last week. Okay, Jack Talcott. He's pretty much El fucking Jefe. Talcott. El Talcottia.
Oh man,
He's the plug. You're the plug, Talcott. Let's run that narrative, right? We're joking, obviously, but Talcott sold me 18 kilos of fentanyl last Wednesday.
why do you want to say that?
Dude, you can't say
I'm
that, man.
joking.
What are you
I'm
doing?
joking.
Right? Why?
Dangerous.
Why do you want?
Because people want to spin narratives, right? It's funny, right? We can just say whatever
So do
we
you
want.
think
Not
you
It's
should
really.
true.
continue that,
You
Cage?
can, technically. Yeah.
Well, right, Cage. But here, let's go back into the coaching. You could use some coaching, right? Let's think about what we're doing.
Okay. Don't talk about the kilos Talcott sold me last
Well,
Wednesday. I need
think
coaching.
about what you are doing. It might be funny to you in this moment, but you don't know who's hearing. You don't know what context they're going to take it. You don't know what else they've heard about Jack, because we talked about this too. People love talking about Jack, and there's all sorts of lies about Jack. So,
Can we
okay,
get back to Jack here?
I really don't want any more. I know you're joking, but dude,
It's an
when
obvious joke, okay? Anyone listening, come on. My point is, I'm making a point by saying that
Plus, you
ridiculous
could have
stuff.
sold him like 10 kilos of semen or something. He didn't say what
Yeah,
it
well,
is.
we had to go through you to get that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Dick. It's in your name. So, yeah, there's like a pecking order here.
Well, I just
But either
supply the
way,
demand. If that's what you're looking for, Cage,
you demand the
we'll
supply.
fill your demand, sir. It's customer service.
I'm
Not
good.
here to ask
I'm good.
questions.
I'm good. I'm good. That's for everybody else. I'm all right though. Thank you. But yeah. Anyways, like my point of even bringing that up or joking like that is people could fucking spin any narrative they want online. Doesn't mean it's true. It was no validity or weight at all.
right,
So yeah.
Cage, no shit. Have you heard about Jack's story? You're joining hundreds of other people who don't give a shit about what is real. So, Cage, there's other ways to joke with Jack. You don't have to fucking disrespect me.
Why are you talking to yourself in a third person?
Goodbye,
About
Cage.
yourself?
I'm done trying to talk to you, man. See, now it's not a big deal what he's doing, what he's saying. It's not a big deal. However, have some respect for me as a man, Cage. Have respect for yourself as a man, Cage.
I have the utmost respect for you, man.
You
I'm
don't I
I'm
don't
pulling
see
your
it.
chain, buddy.
I don't see it, Cage.
Okay. Well, ask me. Ask me. I can tell you.
No, your words, you've just shown you don't care about your words. I'd like to see it. See the respect.
I do care a lot.
Then please try to consider how what you are offering me affects me.
I'm
Because
sorry.
you've
I'm
been
sorry.
Well, it's not just this most recent time, Cage. This has been a pattern I've been facing with you. I want to believe that you do care. I want to believe that you do support me, but you get to choose what I see and hear from you.
Well, that means in that. Okay, how do I choose what you your perspective, right? That's on you. That's not on me. I can't control your perspective.
You control what you say. You control what I receive from you. But you don't control you. You keep trying. I don't know what you're doing, Cage. I really don't, because I don't know you well enough. But
Yeah, you don't at all. So yeah, can we continue? Like, let's get back to it because you said a lot of great words, Mr. Talcott. You know what I mean? Like, you do have knowledge, and you do have someone to share with people.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
what I've been
So,
trying
Cage,
to.
do you and Landry go to Mason meetings together? Are you guys in the same lodge, or is
I
there
gotta I
rumor
gotta
going
turn the
around?
camera to the left and on a side profile and talk like put up a fake talking thing. I don't know.
You
We
guys
got.
like have matching aprons or something, or
Actually, we have the fact. Well, I don't know about him.
you
I
guys
have the
winking
fact.
at each other on streams? Like, hey, buddy,
I've never talked to him before, but
got my
yeah.
owl on my shoulder.
If
Chess
you,
buddy, not checkers. I remove an L like the knight on the chessboard. Yeah. Sorry, Sophie. What are you saying,
hey,
Jack?
Chewy, thank you again for your contribution. Sincerely, appreciate the support. Um, if you think about the idea of the Freemasons, of the Illuminati, um, the basic principles of how they have power, it's simple and obvious. They look out for one another. They've created a community. They've created a bond uh, where they have loyalty to one another. And even if it's not loyalty to one another, it's loyalty to the greater cause.
We got another one.
God
Shut
damn
up.
it, you
And,
make a good point, Jack. And they're not dumb enough to share it with the masses that would screw it up. Well,
Yep, exactly.
oh, you're not in the club, right? Yeah.
Right. Well, so let's consider that. That is a proven way of success. That's how these corporations work. It's how the international corporations and banks, it's how all of them work. They work together. We, the people, we haven't learned how to work together.
In Latin, Mr. Talcott, you know what they call it? They call it ordo ab chaos, which literally order out of chaos, right? Divide and conquer tactics, right?
Mhm.
So while people link up and do what they do, they're gonna make everybody fight amongst each other. How do you control billions of people? You make them group up, label themselves up, and then make them have disagreements, if you want to call it that, within each other in order to so it's like a self-regulating thing. You know what I mean? So you got to make them, in a way, argue with each other, right? So, you have this ideology of politics, you have this religion, you live in this area. It goes on and on and on and on and on. It's the only way to fucking control people. Yeah.
That's a good question coming from you, Landry. How can people work together? They choose to.
You just got to grease their fucking palms a little bit, give them what they want.
No, okay.
Yeah.
No. People choose to work together, and then they do. Now,
No, I hear you. I hear you. I'm not to interrupt, Jack, but what it is like, okay, people have needs and wants and all that, right? So it's more about what they want, right? You can give them what they want, and then as long as they supply them with what they want, then you're able to.
Cage.
Okay.
yeah. You know how people work together? It's funny. One of the first things I heard Landry say was like, we got to have a plan, right? It is actually true. Like, if people want to accomplish something, you do have to have a roadmap, benchmarks, goals, because otherwise, most things that can't be done in a day, you have to take in bite-sized chunks. So you have to hold yourself accountable and have some kind of like measuring process to see if there's progress, and that's usually what it takes for the rubber to meet the road and actually start gaining momentum and getting traction with an idea,
You got to
in
take
my
care of them.
experience. But it's
Yeah, you got to
discipline.
take
It
care of them.
really
Give them
is.
what they need, or not
Takes
what they think
discipline.
they need, what they want. Because there's a difference. There's a big difference between wanting and needing something.
I mean, with
So give
AI
them
now,
what they
you
think.
literally have it give you a plan
Okay.
in like fucking 30 seconds, break down a strategy for you.
Well, that's a strategy right there, right? Go to their wants and stuff,
Hey,
right?
Cage,
We'll utilize that. Hey, Talcott, yeah.
I'm wanting you to back off for a moment. All right?
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I'll mute.
Thank you. I've explained this many times, and if you were an honest man, Landry, I could show you what it looks like. The steps to make it so people work together to get their ego out of the way. You do what you just said. You get your ego out of the way and you listen. You listen with the heart of understanding, the heart that cares to know. But see, Landry, you didn't show me the heart that cares to know. I meant the mind that thought it knew it all. You even said as much, that you figured it all out. You were the king of the group. So, Landry, you don't know clearly, but this is where my experience has been different than many of these other loners that I'm out here with in these YouTube streets. Is I spent time in the military. I spent time with unions. I spent time on teams, organizations. I worked with others for my whole life. And I know how it's done, but it requires willingness. Now, what Cage was going on about is incentive. Now, selfish people, what Cage is saying, it's true. If you're dealing with selfish people, you got to make sure that there's something in it for them, that they see what they're going to get. Otherwise, they don't care. But even if you do offer what you think someone wants, I mean, because Landry said he wanted some things. Hey, I'm not harboring resentment, dude. I'm stating the
Hey,
facts.
hey,
I'm
Mr.
just,
Talcott. It's like dangling a non-existent carrot on a treadmill, right? So you're gonna run around for something that really doesn't exist and get nowhere at all. All right? It's like a carrot. Like you see how they like put a carrot on a fishing rod and make the fucking horse run, kind of thing.
does
Yeah,
that have to do with what I was saying?
it does. Like not
Does
what
it?
it does. Yeah, it really does. Yeah. Well, like exactly what you're saying. It was very well said, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's like okay, incentive and selfish people. So you dangle something that doesn't really exist in front of them, make them run on a treadmill, and guess what? At the end of the day, they're at the same place they started.
Cage,
Yeah.
right. That's manipulation. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking about honest communication. And see, this is where Landry, I mean, you're not, you can describe whatever you want. Okay, Landry, I'm kind of disgusted with you, to be honest, because of how you chose to describe me and treat me after the way I treated you. Now, Landry claimed he wanted to do a big project. He wanted to do something substantial. I offered him that. So he said he wanted something that I want. And so I invested in our partnership. I flew myself there. I made myself available. And that young man chose to ignore me and talk bad about me behind my back and elsewhere. So, Landry, when you choose to show yourself as a man worthy of respect to me again, my opinions change very easily. I'm very reasonable. Here, you know what, Landry? You're right. I didn't let you on the panel the other day. I really don't care to hear from you again. You can go away, Landry.
He got what he needed. It's a little game he's playing. I don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
know this guy. I haven't even talked to him, but I know he's running a little game.
It's his
Why don't
ego.
you fucking join?
He
Join.
he joined. Actually, Landry, feel free. You're welcome to click the
Yeah,
link.
join, man. I want to talk to this guy.
I'll
He
talk to
won't.
you.
I bet he won't. I bet he won't.
If he does, please keep me so I keep him with respect. But
I have a few questions to ask him, Mr. Talcott.
the thing is what I saw happening was his ego, right? He he gained some confidence. He gained some. He got put in the spotlight. He was feeling good, and that is good for him. He needed more confidence, but he doesn't need to prove himself by taking on someone like me, trying to diminish me and the real life goals that I care about.
So whatever your fucking name is, buddy, MMLA, whatever. Why don't you join? I want to talk to you. Let's have a conversation.
It's all right. There's
No,
no
I'd like to talk to him quickly.
you can talk to him if it doesn't have to be here.
Oh, it doesn't have. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So why don't we get back to something of value, all right? Let's get back to value, all right? Talcott, come on, man.
yes. Well,
Let's live without fear, for real. Come on.
thank you. And this is actually what I wanted to do. I do want to get it back on value and maybe even start wrapping it up because I don't want to air um, I don't want to keep engaging with people who don't have respect for me. And that's what I see has been happening. I've been engaging with a lot of people that can't seem to find any respect for me as a man.
I respect you as a man. You know what I mean? I've actually went out of my way a couple times now to try doing the
I know.
best I can. All right,
Okay.
and
You're
it has nothing to do with like numbers or getting attention or anything. I do it in the back. You know what I mean? So it's from my heart, bro. You know what I mean? I have actually done that.
I
So
believe, Paige, I recognize that. Maybe I spoke harshly about you earlier because I have seen your intentions have been good. Okay. And I do see that you do care and you do have respect for me.
I
Now,
care. I have
doesn't
respect for
seem-
every human being, and I care about everybody. But why? Because I care about myself, and I care about everything and everybody. You know. Although maybe it shouldn't be warranted that way. You know. Regardless, I do it either way. You know, and it's not a
well,
weakness.
here, let's swing it around. The topic today, I called it God's love, right? But what I do want to kind of point to is what it means to walk with love, to be with love. Because love is not just an emotion. Love is far more than anything like that. Love is a power. Love is a force. And if you break it down who a man or a woman is, we're not a thing. We're not just emotions, we're not just thoughts. Who we are, the life force who we are a power. We are a force of life. But the world we're born into, the fear, those who came before us have chosen to create a society where they can rule in hell rather than share heaven with everyone. And that's all of us on the individual level and the collective level. We're each in our own little paradigm where we can taste the pains of life, the misery of hell, and we can also taste the beauty and the deliciousness of love. It's what are we going to give our mind attention to? And I was observing myself earlier and thinking about thoughts. Whenever our mind is focused on something, we are that which we are focused on, that which is receiving our attention, becomes us. We become that, at least for the moment, because we have a relationship through our awareness, through our mind and our heart. And so if we're constantly becoming a part of the problems, the negativity, the people we hate, the wars we don't like, if we keep focusing on those and that becomes part of us, well, that's how it happens.
Yeah, Jack, you're on point, man.
Reflections. Thank you.
You're on point. Because all these negative emotions that we may or may not have, they all stem from two different things, either love or fear.
Mm-hmm.
Like fear is hatred, right? Or they go hand in hand. So you're right about that. You know, you're right about so many different things, man. I know it takes a long time to realize this shit, unfortunately. But you know, reality is curated to the observer, right?
Yeah.
So whatever program's running is gonna reflect it back, kind of like a mirror to your reality and what's available and what's out there for you. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is in line with some of the ancient philosophies too. The all is mind, the all is mental.
The all is mind, the universe is mental. It's the first thing in the Kemetic or Hermetic principles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the first law of mentalism and natural law, if you want to call it that. Yeah, you're correct. Mm-hmm.
Well, and this is how we all do have. I can't remember what you just said. You said it very well, but the subjective reality is what we experience. We are each subjected to our own experience with reality, our own interpretation of reality. But the stories we tell ourselves, right? The language we use, the vocabulary that we hear ourselves using, that creates the story of who we are and what the world is. But the key to this all is mental is get out of the mental, get into the heart, because in the heart we know without language, we know without the words, we know without knowing. It's in the heart that we live. And this is what the Buddhas were teaching. It's what Jesus was teaching.
And Talcott,
And
not to
Talcott.
interrupt, and Talcott, but yeah, Talcott, not to interrupt. But yeah, you know the heart is an anagram for earth, right? If you move
Mhm.
around the letters in heart, it's an anagram. It spells the same thing. So yeah, we're in this planet, and it goes beyond your opinion, my opinion, anybody's opinion. Okay, there's someone out there that's way greater than any of us can even imagine, and it's heart-based intelligence, if you want to call it that. All right, so this is the gut. They say the gut's like the second brain and all that. It's within us all. You know what I mean? We don't gotta. We all know what the right thing to do is. Like, okay, I mean, we're not gonna play a fucking game here and pretend like we don't. Enough of it.
Sometimes it's hard to know what is right, but what you're saying, Cage, tying it back, to know what is right for us, we've got to realize what is right is going to change in every moment. Every situation may be a little bit different. So what's right for me in this moment might be different than what's right for me in another moment. So how do we know what is right? That is where a clear mind is critical. We must be able to still our mind, to be at peace in the moment so that we can cognize and we can put the pieces together of what we
Cognizance, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, remember, like, even in the Bible and all that, if you want to go Christian with it, but do unto others how you want to be done unto yourself, kind of thing, right? But we could take that a step further, okay? We could treat people way better than we would ever be expected back and have that return, right? What about that? What about I'll treat people better than I could ever expect to be treated myself, you know? Then, if we all did that, I'm pretty sure we all We're all good. There's no issue. There's no fucking issue at all. There's no war. There's none of it. No
That's
one's
it.
like lying, Because you want to, would you like to be lied to? Would you like to be fucking victimized and shit? Probably
No,
not. Because
no.
as soon as it happens to you, then all of a sudden, not you, but I'm saying in general, as soon as it happens to that individual, they don't like that anymore. And they're like, what the fuck? Okay, well, how did that begin? Yeah. So once you do that, you be real. It's pretty much it goes from not, just don't lie. Just be yourself. Don't fucking lie. And that's it. Just be
Cage,
real. That's it.
yes. And that do not lie. I can't stress that one enough. If you actually give yourself permission to stop and think about how stupid it is to lie, you'll realize there is no
Bro, I
reason.
learned the hard way. I learned the hard way being a fucking liar growing up as a child. I was
I
pretty
did
much
too.
coached and turned into one. And I
Yeah,
learned the hard way what happens after.
me
So you
too.
don't, that doesn't need to happen. Yeah, you too, right? Everybody has it in a way. Hopefully. Eventually it will. But yeah. So it's,
And and Cage, this is where my life truly started transforming. I looked myself in the mirror. I said, I took accountability for where I was at, my health, the current state of my health, my bank account, my house, my living. I looked at my life and I was not happy. But I made a commitment to myself, looked myself in the mirror, said no more. No more excuses, no more blame. If it's in your life and it deals with you, you're responsible. You deal with it. You do it. And I've been sticking to that, and I'm kind of proud of what I've been able to
I'm proud of you,
accomplish.
man. Keep it up.
Thank
Proud
you.
of you, bro.
Thank you. Cage, I'm actually proud of you too. For a young man looking into the things that you're looking into and having started with some of the challenges you started with, Cage, I'm actually pretty proud of you too.
Oh, it's a fucking miracle I'm even here talking right now.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm not even joking. Like most of the people I know, they never made it to the age of 30 years old. Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. Hey, Cage, I'm feeling like wrapping up. You got anything else before we
That's
do?
about it. Thank you, Talcott, for having me. It was a
All right.
great conversation, man. Keep it up. Don't let anything or anybody deviate you from that path, right? Keep it one one foot against one foot in front of the other, man. You got it. Yeah.
That's it. All
Thank you,
right.
bro.
Thank you sincerely. I do appreciate this was Cage, those were some great conversations with you today, and you sat through my frustration. You put up with that, and I want to thank Dick for joining as well. And if I missed any, the contributions of folks who have been supportive, sincerely, thank you. Today, the topic, let's discuss God's love again. Love. It truly is the reason for being. Love is the answer, even if you don't know the question. If you remember that love is the answer, then you can know the answer for you. Um, yeah, I don't think I'm going to bring you up in the back, baby Jesus. I can't remember who that is, but I don't remember it being a favorable one for me. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up here. Um, from here, though, if you would, please take with you a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of positivity. Even if I don't come through the clearest, if you can take away some positivity and some encouragement, tell yourself that Jack really does care about you, and that you are on the right path, and that Jack's reminder, God loves you. It's up to you to remember the love. That's the lesson I meant to point out earlier. God's love is there. The truth is there. Everything you need is there in the world for you, but you've got to have faith it's there for you. And you've got to have faith that you can get yourself to the love, to the answers, to the truth. But if you have faith, what do you have to worry about? Nothing at all. And if you can convince yourself that despite the problems, despite the conditions, despite the temporary circumstances, if there's nothing at all to worry about, then you can feel the peace that's beyond understanding. And if you can bring into your mind the love of God more often so that you feel it, if you don't give it attention, if you don't put your mind to it, if you don't focus yourself on God's love, how does that become a part of you? Because anything you focus on is going to become a part of you and your experience. And I hope this is coming through. I'm going to wrap it up there. Sincerely, to all of you, thank you. Thank you again. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.